Yes, my name's Steve. I'm a digital producer for a company called GPMD. I'm also the UK co-chair for Sempo. And my Twitter handle is @SteveJLock, where you can get some random tweets and occasionally some interesting industry news. I think for me, I absolutely love the community, which is an interesting point because we're here at Brighton SEO at the moment. It's amazing, it's a free event. You can come here, you can rub shoulders with some of the biggest names in the industry who are all generally very friendly and approachable. It's also, obviously there's no barrier to entry, so some of the conferences are quite expensive. There's a lot of knowledge sharing going on and a lot of really good things, which it does happen in other industries, but I think the scale of it in the SEO industry is really, really special. So I kind of feel very, very lucky to feel like I'm part of the community.
It's a very good point to say the SEO industry, more than most industries, is really open, an open industry. So can you see it staying this way?
I think I can do. I think something that's very, very interesting about SEO is, I think particularly when you've been in it for a long time, Richard Baxter summed this up perfectly in his talk, where he said it's an extremely broad discipline. And I guess in my own career, one of the things that I'm going through is really, really looking at the tangible skills that I have and kind of really working on developing those. So I'm about to sit my Prince 2 exams, very interested in Linux, analytics, and I guess just getting myself really kind of qualified up and really, I suppose, focusing on kind of bettering myself and getting some really formal kind of skills, because what's particularly interesting is some of the best people in our industry and some of the most experienced guys, actually on paper it's not like you go and do a degree in SEO or a qualification. Quite often they're just guys that have been doing it for a long time. So I'm really interested in, I suppose, really hoovering up as many skills as I can. I think the thing that I don't like about the SEO industry is we were having this conversation recently at work where there's a lot of very talented developers that I work with at GPMD, and something that has come up a couple of times is they're used to Googling things around Magento, PHP, Linux, Apache, these kind of things when they're looking for information, and what they often find is they get amazing advice straight away from the search results. Now, one of the things with SEO, which is very challenging, is you can try and learn things about it, and unfortunately even on some of the biggest blogs in the industry, sometimes the information is not brilliant. And there's actually an interesting project that, actually this is a bit of an exclusive, something we're hoping to launch very soon is an SEO standards project.
Oh wow.
Where we're basically going to take some of the biggest agencies, some of the biggest names on the planet, and we're going to basically look to really kind of, I guess, collaboratively tell people what we think good SEO looks like, and I guess, make that information freely available so it can be, I suppose, an authority source where the information can be really, really reliable, because, like I say, unfortunately, particularly if you don't know anything about SEO, it can be really difficult to find the right kind of sources. I think for me, the thing I love the most about SEO is its recurring benefit. If you do SEO really, really well, so our head of search at GPMD is a chap called Paul Rogers, who does an amazing job with kind of full online PR. So he does a lot of blogger outreach, does it really, really well. So you're not just getting SEO, you're getting much, much more than that. And the benefits will kind of recur every month. I think what I love about SEO versus other mediums, like particularly PPC or say a magazine advert, is you'll get a big burst of traffic, almost like a tap, but then when you stop spending money and you turn that tap off, you stop getting traffic. Whereas SEO, if you do it the right way, your traffic will build and build and build every month, and it can really help businesses. And something that was interesting is there was some McKinsey research which came through Harvard Business Review that was discussed in some of the talks today, which I actually saw a little while ago, and it shows you that SEO really is the biggest ROI activity that you can do. I think it's just a shame that people sometimes, because they don't get SEO versus some of the other marketing channels, it can be tricky to get people to invest as much as they should do. There are a lot. I think, to be honest, one of the biggest problems that I see is a kind of lack of education. I see that as generally the single biggest mistake that the entire industry has. So quite often for a lot of brand owners, the guys that own the marketing side of it, SEO will be one part of the marketing mix. So quite often their understanding will be quite limited of SEO, and it kind of means, I suppose, they're at completely the mercy of their agency and their service providers. So I guess if they get lucky, they'll get a really good agency that will do a great job for them. If they get a bad agency, unfortunately, they're going to get less of a good job. And I think SEO, it's one of those things where it's a very, very specialist skill, but quite often guys are tasked with owning all of the marketing, and particularly if only, say, 10% of their marketing spend is on SEO, they might get all of the other bits of marketing, and SEO really seems to slip through the cracks a lot of the times. I mean, probably the best piece of advice I give for anyone that wants to get into SEO or into setting their own business up, I guess it's just launch a blog, just start blogging, start testing stuff, and also spend a lot of time networking. I think, like I say, the community really is something special, and particularly if you're London based, but pretty much anywhere in the UK, you'll be able to find meetups where you can get friendly advice. You'll be able to talk to people on Twitter and contact people through their blogs, and quite often you'll find that a lot of the very best people in our industry will also be the most approachable. They'll be friendly guys who are really happy to help. I mean, also the work that we do with the Semper, I mean, we're very approachable, so if people are really interested in search, again, they can get in touch and get lots of networking and friendly advice and support. But probably the number one biggest piece of advice I would give is back, I suppose, to the sources of information for SEO. So I'd be very, very picky about where you learn SEO. Two sources where you can't really go too wrong are Danny Dover's book, SEO Secrets, which is widely available, and then also SEO Mazda Beginner's Guide as well, which is very, very famous, which is again brilliant. But also the Analytics SEO blogs, good. Search Engine Land. There's a few other places, but what you'll find is that by focusing on a very small number of high quality sources, you'll learn things the right way, whereas if you just go start reading SEO blogs, you'll probably find that at a later date you'll realise half your information and knowledge that you've gathered is actually not great. You'll find yourself having to relearn things, which is actually exactly what happened to me sort of 5 or 6 years ago. That is a very interesting question. I think what summarised this quite well was from one of the talks earlier. I believe it was the guy from Brilliant Noise, where he talked about very, very integrated approaches with SEO, where I think throughout my career most of the time I've seen kind of PR, SEO, paid search, and sometimes even analytics and sort of TV and social media kind of work all in different silos. I think it's really important that you need to work in a really, really kind of joined up approach, and I think people are really starting to recognise that. So there's been a lot of talk about content marketing and inbound marketing, and I think these kind of approaches are generally more integrated, and I guess it's about people educating themselves and understanding that these things kind of should be working together. And I suppose for me, I mean, what really good agencies will do is they'll have a good understanding of lots of the different digital channels. You may specialise in one, but it's important to develop a T-shaped skill set, which is something that's come up in today's talks, and also I've seen this talked about on e-consultancy, where you really specialise in one discipline, like SEO, but you understand all the digital disciplines a little bit, so analytics, CRO, social media, paid search, TV, PR, content. It's getting those things to work together, I think, is definitely going to be the future. I think I'd also like to see SEO become a little bit more transparent, but we'll kind of see how that goes. I don't know. I don't know. It depends how drunk I get. Okay. I've been known to do some MC Hammer if I have enough beers.
MC Hammer from you, Steve. It's been an absolute pleasure.
I think last year there was some pretty epic rapping, really? But I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Steve. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks a lot. Thanks.